Alrighty, folks, welcome to our part 2 video here today for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Of course, I'm still feeling great on a Thursday because we're coming off another winning day of personal sports bets on my website yesterday. We cashed in on the Marlins, Astros, Rangers, and Guardians. And the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to be a chairman member on my website. Chairman members get access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, if you don't want to access multiple winners a day and you only need one, well, I got a package for you. It's my daily best play, and it costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. Now, of course, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I'm actually betting on personally. Now, I currently have over 570 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. I'm hitting at 65% my last 17 daily best plays, 68% my last 25 extra daily bets, and finally I'm hitting at 64% in my last 106 board member tier package plays. Now, my current win-loss record in all of those packages, it's documented on my website. It's a safe and secure site as well, guys. All your information is secure. I don't see any of it. The only thing I can see is your email address and whatever name you provide. Tell you, the guys over at Patreon, they run a really good site. I'm thankful that they have such a good platform for me to produce content on. And really a great thing about using Patreon is whenever I make a post, that post goes right to your email after the first day. So the picks actually go to your inbox one day after you sign up. But anyway, folks, let's go ahead and dive into our part 2 video. We're going to start off with the White Sox at the Angels, 4:07 Eastern first pitch. The LA Angels are minus 135, totals 9. Patty Sandoval for Los Angeles, Lance Lynn for Chicago. Now, Lynn's just 4-8 on the season with an ERA of 6.40. The Chicago lineup also, well, they can't hit for shit. They're in the bottom 3 in hits per game on the road. They're facing an Angels team who can certainly score with the best of them. As a matter of fact, these Angels hitters are in the top 5 in home runs and OPS. Shohei Ohtani leads the league in homers and OPS. Mike Trout and Brandon Drury, they have nearly 90 RBI between the both of them. Rendon and Neto are still out for the Angels. Moncada and Gonzalez inactive for Chicago. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Chicago's last 4 road games stayed under the number. They're also 7-3 to the under in their last 10. 6 out of the Angels' last 7 Patty Sandoval starts stayed under the line. Give me the Angels minus 135, under 9. Next ball game, Marlins, Bo Sox, 6:10 Eastern start time. Miami's minus $1.20, totals 9. Brian Bayo for Boston, Jesus Luzardo for Miami. And even though Luzardo's been really good this year, he does have a handful of losses on the season. Now, the Fish also took the loss in 3 out of Luzardo's last 5 starts. They averaged only 1 run a game in those losses. They're facing Brian Bayo, who's got a winning record for Boston, and an ERA in the low 3s. And when it comes to hitting the baseball, the Red Sox are certainly tough to get out at Fenway. Matter of fact, these guys average the most hits per contest at home in the major leagues. Rafi Devers is 4th in the bigs in RBI. Alex Verdugo is the club leader in hits. Now, injury-wise, Masataka Yoshida is questionable to suit up for Boston. Garcia still out for Miami. The Red Sox are 25-16 to the over at Fenway Park this year. Good for 61% in that category. Give me the Red Sox, plus $1, over 9. Next matchup, Giants, Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern start time. Toronto's minus $1.55 at home, totals 9. Chris Bassett for Toronto, no confirmed starter yet for San Francisco. But regardless of who throws out the first pitch, I do think the Giants could possibly outscore the Jays here. I know the Jays have a powerful, dangerous lineup, but it's actually the Giants who lead the majors right now in run production on the road. Thairo Estrada is the club leader in hits. J.D. Davis has the most RBI on the roster. Now they're facing Chris Bassett, who's walked his fair share of batters. He also had a handful of losses and an ERA of 4.32. Now this Jays pitching staff, they've had a tough time keeping it inside of the park. They're actually in the bottom 5 in the American League in home runs allowed. Kevin Kiermaier, he is questionable for Toronto. Alejandro Kirk is still out. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, Yastrzemski is still out. Conforto is questionable. 3 out of Toronto's last 5 home games did fall under the total. They're also 7-1 to the under in their last 8 interleague home games. Give me the Giants plus 1.5, under 9. Next contest I have for you, it is going to be Brewers at the Mets, 7:10 Eastern start time. The New York Mets are minus $1.90, totals 8.5. Max Scherzer for New York, Adrian Hauser for Milwaukee. And out of 40-plus innings of work this year, Adrian Hauser has recorded only 2 losses. Now, the Brewers won 5 out of their last 8 ball games. They averaged nearly 6 runs per contest in those victories. Christian Yelich is the club leader in hits and RBI. Willy Adames and Rowdy Tellez, they are tied for the team lead in home runs. Now they're taking on a Mets club who lost 6 out of their last 8. And they also have a tough time hitting the baseball at Citi Field. Matter of fact, these guys are currently in the bottom 5 in the majors right now in home hits per contest. 3 out of New York's last 4 in Flushing, Queens fell under the number. No real shock there. Meanwhile, Milwaukee went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Brewers plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, Astros at the Cardinals, 7:15 Eastern start time. St. Louis is minus $1.20, totals 9.5. Adam Wainwright for St. Louis, J.P. France for Houston. Now, France has an ERA in the 3s along with a 1.26 whip. These Houston pitchers have been real tough to hit against on the road. They allow just 7.4 hits a game in their travels. That's actually it's nearly best in the majors in that category. Now they're facing a Cardinals team on the other side who took the loss in 3 out of their last 5. Once again, the Cardinals lost 3 out of their last 5. And they've had some pretty shaky pitching themselves this year. The Redbirds are giving up more hits per contest than any other staff in the National League. And of course, Adam Wainwright's been no exception to that. He's got an ERA of 6.56, along with a 1.82 whip. Now, the Cardinals remain at the bottom of the NL Central right now with regard to standings. They also have the second fewest home wins in the National League. Nolan Arenado is questionable for the Cards. Yordan Alvarez still out for Houston. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Houston's last 5 on the road did get over the total. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give them the Astros plus $1, over 9.5. Next contest, Phillies Cubs, 8:05 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia's minus $1.20, totals 10. Taijuan Walker for the Titans, Kyle Hendricks for Chicago. Now, Hendricks has an ERA of 2.60 and a sub-1 whip. He's actually got a .98 whip at the moment. The Cubs are also a top 10 run-producing team at home. Nico Hoerner's the team leader in RBI and hits. Ian Happ's got the second most RBI himself. Now, they're facing Taijuan Walker, and he's got himself an ERA in the 4s, despite his recent record. And these Philly pitchers, they really struggle away from home. They're in the bottom 3 in road hits allowed per contest. Wisdom and Rios are still out for Chicago. Seiya Suzuki is questionable. 3 out of the Cubs' last 5 at Wrigley did get over the number. Give me the Cubbies plus $1, over 10. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Dodgers-Rockies game, 8:40 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are minus 210, totals 12. Emmett Sheehan for Los Angeles, Chase Anderson for Colorado. And out of 34-plus innings of work, Chase Anderson's yet to record a W. He's got a 1.34 whip and an ERA close to 5. Now, these Rockies pitchers, they allow more home runs than any other pitching staff in the game. They're also dead last in strikeouts. Now, they're facing a Dodger club on the other side who hits more home runs per game than any other team in the NL West. Mookie Betts has 20 home runs on the year. Muncy and Martinez with 18 home runs apiece. The Dodgers saw 6 out of their last 10 ball games get over the total. They're also 60% of the over away from Dodger Stadium. Give me the LA Dodgers minus 1.5 over 12. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. LA Angels minus 135 under 9. Boston Red Sox plus $1 over 9 runs. San Francisco plus 1.5 under 9. Milwaukee plus 1.5 under 8.5. Houston plus $1 over 9.5. Chicago Cubs plus $1 over 10. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 12 runs.